It's been a while over spring break, so let's remember, right? You want the fold at the top, so you're not writing on the wrong side. Right? Fold goes at the top. And we're going to write angle. A-N-G-L-E, not A-N-G-E-L. A-N-G-E-L is angel. This is an angle. A-N-G-L-E. For real. Open it up. The definition of an angle. Two rays. Do you remember rays? We talked about it in bell work. Two rays that share an endpoint.
Is that all we know about outside? I don't know.
For example, there's one ray, correct? Is that true? Is that a ray? There's another ray. There are two rays that share an endpoint. So they're rays that share a point, but they go in opposite directions, right? That's an angle. So for example, if this was A, B, do you remember how you write the name of that ray? It's elementary school math. Think back to geometry.
Wait, we did geometry. Elementary?
You write A, B, which are the letters, and you draw a ray on top of it. So ray AB. And what's the other ray that makes up this angle? What? AD. Those are your rays. Good. What would you call this angle? What are the names? What's the name of this angle? Not like what type is it. What's the name of this angle? Angle what? Maddie? Not ABD. A's in the middle. So in our name, A has to be in the middle.
BAD.
I could call it BAD, angle BAD. It has another name. I could call it angle DAB. Or I can call it just angle A. Just by the middle term. That's an angle. Hopefully these first four are memory joggers. All right, put that one to the side. We'll glue it down in a minute. Same process, different sheet. Right, again, flipping open. Acute angle. Acute angle. Then I flip it open. What's the definition of an acute angle, Olivia? Okay. She says an angle less than 90 degrees. It's less than 90, but it's more than what? Nope. 0. Good. So it's an angle that measures more than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees. Would 4 work if it measured 4 degrees? Show me with your arms, what would 4-degree angle look like? Or your hands. What would a 4-degree angle look like? Tiny, right? Maybe like that. I mean, tiny. We always want to name our angles. X, Y, Z. Do angles always have to open to the right? No, they could. Be like that, right? Is that an acute angle? Yeah. C, A, T. I mean, or they could go like this, right? And this is angle Q. Those are all acute angles. Is it easy to identify acute angles? Yeah. What's the best thing you could do to make sure that it's acute? Like, what if I'm not sure? What if I'm like, ooh, I don't know, is that? What could I use that I have every day that could help me? Sam?
You could do like a square, like do a square at the angle.
Okay, you could, but like, I can't just draw it in there. What could I use that I have every day with me?
Notebook paper.
Notebook paper. I mean, is that less than 90 degrees? Yeah, the corner of a piece of paper is 90 degrees. So you could check with a piece of paper. All right, let's do another one. Fold it. And obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. Then you're going to open it up. What do you know about obtuse angles? Refugio, what do you know?
More than 90 degrees and I think less than 180.
Perfect. It is an angle that measures more than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. It measures more than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. So it's what kind of angle? Is it big or little? It's a big angle. It's a big angle. So like This? Let's name it HGR. Or maybe MBL. Those are obtuse angles. And what can you use to determine if it's obtuse, if it's bigger than 90? The corner of your paper again, right? It's just got to be bigger than that. Look, is it bigger than the corner of my paper?
Yes.
So that's obtuse. I'm sure you're just anxious to glue. So, 1, 2, 3. 3 across. They can be close to each other, that's fine.
Is that all?
How many green pieces of paper do you have? More than 3?
Angle.
So is that, are we done?
Let me guess this one. Right angle is next.
Maybe. John,
Yeah.
get gluing. What? I still can't hear you. Turn around and
The
ask me a
second
question.
one that you drew, she said it looks.
It does look acute. But since I put that that square in the corner, it tells me it measures 90 degrees. Right? Because I'm not a computer. I can't be perfect all the time. Shocking, I know. All right. Next square, or rectangle, I guess. Fold it down. So we've done angle, we've done acute angle, we've done obtuse angle, we've done right angle.
Straight angle.
Come on. Now we are on
Straight angle.
to straight angle. What? Straight angle. John, you have to sit up and take notes, please. Straight angle. Open it up. What is a straight angle? What is a straight angle? Refugio?
Angle exactly 180 degrees.
It is an angle that measures exactly 180 degrees. And 180 degrees is what? A straight line.
Yeah.
Put it to the side.
Sit up. All the way. Grab a piece.
Here we go. Next flap. This is probably new. Up until now, we've had review. Not probably. Might be. I hope it's not. All right, so now we're going on to relationships. Because now I'm adding an S to the end of it. It's not just one angle, it's multiple. Vertical angles. Vertical angles. What does vertical mean?
Straight up and down.
Up and down, right? That's what vertical means. Up and down. Top and bottom, right? Oh, wait. Let's save that one for a second. Let's do this one next. Put vertical to the side. We'll do that after this one. Adjacent angles. AD. Sit up. You can itch your head without putting your elbows and your head down. Next one. Adjacent. ADJACENT angles. Adjacent angles. Open it up. Adjacent angles are angles, so more than one, that share a common side and vertex. Adjacent angles are angles that share a common side and a vertex. So here's an example. RAT. Is that an angle? Yeah, it is. There are two angles in this picture. What's the first angle? RAT. What's the other angle? TAB. Or BAT. Those two angles are adjacent. And I'm going to do some color coding just so that you see it. There's one angle, and it's adjacent to the other angle. What side do they share? More. They share, Eduardo, you need to pay attention, please. AT. That's what they share. They share the common side is AT. Do you remember? Think back to elementary school. What's the word vertex mean? Vertex. Gabe? The corner of a shape. So what's their common vertex? Their vertex is A. Their common vertex. There's one more name of this. the whole thing could be RAB. But we're asking for the for the adjacent. So which one touches which one? What shares? RAT and TAB share a side and a vertex. They are adjacent. All right. Glue across. Right, straight, adjacent. Okay, vertical angles. Vertical. We talked about vertical means on top of each other, right? Up and down. Top and a bottom. Vertical angles. When two lines intersect. What does it mean, intersect?
Cross each other.
Cross each other. Any non-adjacent angles are vertical angles. When two lines intersect, any non-adjacent angles are vertical angles. What does that mean, non-adjacent?
They don't have the same common side of vertex.
Yeah, they don't share a side. So let's look. Here's a line. And here's a line. If I was going to name this COP, what is it adjacent, or what's not adjacent to it? Is this one on top non-adjacent? This guy on top is not adjacent.
No.
Is this one on top adjacent or non-adjacent? It doesn't share a side? Oh yeah, it does. What side does it share?
The O and C.
OC. So that's adjacent. I want non-adjacent. All right, let's try on the bottom. Is this angle down here adjacent or non-adjacent?
Non-adjacent. It's adjacent.
It's adjacent. What side does it share?
O and P.
O and P. So where's the non-adjacent side?
The other side of it.
Over here. Let's call this one QOX. So what can you tell me about vertical angles? I mean, they're not adjacent. They don't share a side.
They're probably going to be opposite from each other.
They're opposite from each other. What do you think you know? What can you guess about COP and about QOX? I mean, they're vertical because they're not adjacent to each other. They're opposite each other. What do they look like? Do they look the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're equal. So if angle COP measured 65 degrees, what does QOX measure? 65 degrees, because vertical angles, they're opposite each other and they're equal.
Wouldn't that be symmetric then?
They're symmetric, you're right. They're symmetrical. Vertical angles. Next. Let's go with complementary angles. Complementary. This is different than a complement. A compliment, spelled with an I, is when I say, you look so nice today. I'm giving you a compliment. This is complement. Complement.
Is it sort of like complementary colors?
Kind of. They go together. All right. Anybody know what complementary angles mean? They are adjacent angles that have a sum. What does the word sum mean? Good. If you add them together of 90 degrees.
So it possibly have to be an acute angle, two acute angles.
Two acute angles. Good. Here's my hint to how I remember this. It's not the best hint, but it works. Complement. The C becomes a 9 pretty easily. Right? In C, complementary, if I draw a line down, I get 90. Right there. Complementary angles make 90 degrees. For example, let's do are those adjacent angles? Yes. They share a side. What side do they share?
A and P.
AP. And let's say that this guy, SAP, is 74 degrees. And PAM is X degrees. I also need to put this in here, right? What does that box tell me? It's 90 degrees. Can you do some algebra to figure out what X is?
Yeah, just subtract 100 from just
Uh.
subtract 74 from 100.
No, subtract 90 from 70.
Yeah.
Because 90 is
Together, they make 90 degrees. So I'm doing 74 degrees plus X. Add them together, and what am I going to get?
90 degrees.
What does X equal? 16. What? Degrees, right? Don't forget your degrees. Complementary angles make 90 degrees. Last one. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angles. Open it up. They're adjacent angles. That have a sum. Again, what does it mean by sum? Add them together of 180 degrees. Adjacent angles that have a sum of 180 degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, here's how I remember this. The S turns into an 8. So the C becomes a 9, meaning 90. The S can become an 8, meaning 80. It's not the best, but it's something. If you can't remember between complementary and supplementary.
Wait, can you show us what they turn into? Like your way?
I did.
Just the 8?
Just the 8. The S becomes an 8. Could. All right, so here's an example. Let's do X A Q and Q A B. Are they adjacent? What do they share? They share QA, right? So they're adjacent. All right, so let's say that this guy is 6x plus 40. And this guy is x. So 6x plus 40 is one angle, right? Plus, what's the other angle? And together, what do they make? 180 degrees. Let's combine. BB, what should I add to this problem to make it a little bit better? You used to call me about odd on it all the time. What's wrong with this one? It should have a 1 in front of it, right? All right, what goes together? Combine like terms.
6x and 1x.
6x plus 1x is?
7x plus 40.
That 40 just adds on to the end. Equals?
47x.
180. Am I done?
How does that equal 180?
Because the two together, when you add angle 1 plus angle 2, you get 180. Supplementary angles.
I know.
Minus 40. What? What? 140.
Oh. Under that pin.
What does x equal? 20 what?
20 degrees.
How'd you get 20 degrees?
Because you do,
You divide them with your 40 by
140 divided by 7. We're not done yet, though. What does QAB measure?
20.
20 degrees. How do you know? because it's x, right? But what about q or x a q?
That'd be 140.
6 times x, so 6 times
X.
20 is
120.
120 plus 40
That'd be 160.
Is 160.
is 160 degrees.
Let's do math right now.
And do 20 plus 160 equal 180?